bathroom, right?
All right.
All right. This turned out good. We're good. You got like a whole bunch of like interesting angles and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
First episode.
What's it about?
I don't know. We can talk about what countries have you lived in or traveled to?
I've been to. I was born in Washington, D.C. I moved to Jamaica when I was 1.
Oh, yeah?
My first language is Jamaican Patois.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I speak Jamaican language. Patois. Yeah, man. Right. Right, man.
Boom, bakla.
Rasclap it them. From there, I moved to Miami, Florida. And then I lived in America. I stayed in America. I went back to Jamaica here and there, but I stayed in America for the most part until I was 18. And then my cousin you met today, Marcy, or you've been to her house before, Marcy?
The big guy.
Yeah, the big guy's wife. The
Okay.
big guy's wife. She took me on a trip across Europe. I went with my dad and my stepmom to Transylvania because my stepmother is from Transylvania. And, and and that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Strange, man. Dracula's castle. And so we went and stayed over at Dracula's castle. And my cousin came, and we were going to go on a trip to Europe that my dad was going to pay for. He was like, I want you to go. It's good for you to go. So go where you want to go. And I called her, and I said, she said, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. I just want to party. And she was like, all right. Is it okay? I go plan all this stuff. This is like a opportunity of a lifetime. Like you don't have any input. And I was like, honestly, I just like you and I trust you. So just go ahead and plan it. And I'm down for whatever you want to do. It all sounds great. Everything, your ideas, blah. So she took me on a trip of a lifetime that she planned the entire thing. It was amazing. So
How old were you?
I was 19.
Oh.
So I stayed in Romania, which to me was like, why the hell are we in Romania? And at the end of the day, it was okay. It was a weird kind of place to be, but it was okay. And we went with the family to Greece, which was really cool. And then me and her, we went to Hungary. From Hungary, we went to Croatia. Croatia, we we went to Dubrovnik, which is like a place within.
I've been there.
You've been there to Dubrovnik?
Dubrovnik, Plitvice,
we went with Sammy.
Zagreb, yeah.
We went with Sammy, yeah. Boss, right? Like,
yeah, dude, it's
whole
actually
thing.
Zagreb is like the worst place to be. Everyone is so beautiful and depressed. I think it's the weather. It's just cloudy. You meet the saddest.
But Dubrovnik was not like that.
No. When you go
Dubrovnik
to
was
the
like
south,
heavy,
you it's like it's more touristy too. So you meet people who are lively, and also for them to serve people, they have to have like a better attitude about life. It's not like that dystopian thing that some
war-torn
Europeans
country.
have.
Yeah.
So there's sunshine. They all say it's a Zagreb thing.
Okay.
They all say, I was like, dude, you guys are, I just went there and I was like, why is everyone so different? They're like, fuck them. It's all, I was there and I was like that. Or like,
Okay.
I don't go there for that.
That's part of the culture of Zagreb.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Zagreb. I was at Dubrovnik and I think it was Hvar.
Oh, I went to Hvar
It's
too.
like the party island.
Yeah,
right?
I went to Hvar, Plitvice, Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik was where they shot. I was gonna say Lord of the Rings. What's the show called with the dragons? Game of Thrones.
Okay, was there in Hvar?
Either Hvar or Dubrovnik. It's just like
probably around all the places there. But like Dubrovnik's within the castle walls.
So that's it. It's within the castle. Yeah, it's this little city in this.
Oh, cool.
That's where they shot. I think that was like Prince Landing or something. It was shot there.
I want to watch. I never watched Game of Thrones.
No?
Nah, no.
Okay. Just watch like 4 seasons and you'll be okay.
What? By the 5th one, it's not.
No, they fucked it up, bro. It was going so well, and then the guy hadn't finished the books, so they just pulled some random shit out of their ass and like wrapped it up, and like none of the stories that they built up for like 4 seasons went anywhere.
All right, I'm not gonna watch that shit.
Don't.
Man. I'm not gonna watch any of it.
You're getting emotional blue balls.
I don't like it. It doesn't. After Breaking Bad, I changed some of this stuff for me.
Yeah.
With watching the show, because Breaking Bad I was really into, and I saw at a certain point I didn't like it, and then I like tried to force my way through it, and I was just like, man, fuck this, and I stopped, and I'm not gonna waste my time.
Breaking Bad was tough for me because at the time I was like, I had a medical marijuana business, so I was doing my Breaking Bad, and it was just nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
To watch it like that, I was like,
dude, I don't watch that much of that kind of stuff in general. This like nerve-wracking bullshit stuff. Have you seen Fargo though?
The
TV show?
No, not the TV
Man,
show.
that shit is fire, dude.
Really?
Yeah, man. It has a lot of that in it, but they do it really well.
What is it about? Some drug thing?
It's cops in Fargo, like North Dakota. It's in the middle of nowhere, and then they have to like solve these like papers, which are like really good, like crime mystery, and it talks about like the underbelly of Middle America, and it's really well written, really well shot, and the stories are really good, and each season is a completely different story, and it's just exceptionally good. So I recommend.
For sure. But you were saying trip of a lifetime with your cousin.
Dubrovnik, Hvar, which is a party town, an island like party town. And then from there, we took the boat to Italy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we stayed in Rome. And then we went to the north of Italy to Cinque Terre. Which, when I went, was in... It was like 20 years ago when I went. And that was before Cinque Terre is like now a place a lot of people go to. It was like when it was like a hidden thing to go to Cinque Terre.
Like...
I don't know if it's changed to that level that it's like gentrified, but it was like we told people, no one knew where that was or had heard of it, and like the people who knew were like, wow, this is like a magic, this place. So it was really cool. It was like finding like an unfound like paradise or something like that. Like, yeah. And then from there, I feel like that was it. Actually, with the trip with her, I might have went back to Romania after that. I think.
But like, you've been to other countries after that?
Yeah. I just and kind of summing up like that trip. Then after that, I think I went to Israel, and I was gonna move to Israel.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, that trip to Israel was amazing though. That was. I mean, I'm not even gonna like touch on the European trip because it was more just this like amazing young person partying, drinking, like trying to like get girls, succeeding at getting girls.
Yeah,
like
nice.
And then, but the Israel trip was like changed my whole life to go to Israel. Because right before I went on the trip, so I also went on the trip because of my cousin, the same cousin. She told me about Birthright, and she like convinced me to go do Birthright. And I have Jewish blood. I'm Jewish, or my dad's Jewish, but I never had much like
connection.
I mean, I wanted to like be a part of it. That's how I always felt. But that's kind of how I always felt. I just like really want to be a part of this or something more than actually like
me in the tribe.
Yeah, that's it. Like I just want to be a part of this like tribe that I'm a part. I'm supposedly like a part of. It's like a cool thing to like be a part of this. This is how I felt. But anyway, so I went because she convinced me to go, and that it would be good for me for this aspect too. And it was an incredible trip. Like you did? No, you didn't do it.
Finally when I signed up, I was too old, and I was like, dude, I'll be like I don't know, like a counselor or whatever that you can take.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're just too old. And then I was gonna go myself, and shit hit the fan over there, and it's just not safe to travel right now.
Oh, okay. I mean, you could go now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think
it's
so.
good. No, you could. You need to go for good reason though, probably. But you can go now. Go for something that's gonna bring you something good. If you want to go there and just hang out, it may not be the best idea.
No, I want to make sure it's safe because, like, dude, I know Rio. I've been to Rio so many times. I went to Brazil, and everyone's like, it's dangerous and this and that.
In Rio?
I've never had a bad experience. I've never met nothing but good people.
I mean, the war ended in Israel, so it's something actually that's pretty
gearing up with Iran. Like, you don't know about
gearing up with Iran right now.
You know, like the
this
Israel and Palestinians.
Okay.
Are just like
this is.
just
I mean,
like
it's real.
Israel and Iran. It's like the Crips and the Bloods. It's not gonna.
Yeah, but you know what is the most interesting thing though? For the first time in the history of Israel, it's at peace.
Shit. Yeah, I know.
That's like the first. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I know.
And it's a real thing. It's actually a real thing at this moment. It's actually a country in peace. So that's maybe worthwhile to go.
Yeah, it's so funny, dude.
But it could pop off like shit.
The three countries that we're involved with are in this thing. It's like we're Persian, Jewish, and American. And
yeah, but also too. I mean, if we were African, we'd be involved in some shit also too.
No,
if
I'm
we were
just
Russian,
saying,
we'd be involved in some shit
specifically
too.
this thing. It's just like
it's specifically
all
this.
three countries we're from
are involved specifically in this like
in
very
this thing.
Yeah.
And Iran and Israel is like one of these countries where it's like all Arab nations around, but they all have their own identity, and as much power and influence is around them, they still like through the ages held their own. And so it's all these like really hot spots of whoever gets to control it gets to have all the leverage over the Middle East. This is why like it's problematic land, because there's geographical thing about it where, especially Iran, it's not just like the land and the resources. It's like you need it to be able to make those big moves.
Yeah, but they could easily be in peace, though. All of it. I mean, look at Dubai.
No, that's different. It's when the Crown Prince came into power. His mom is like European mindset.
Crown Prince of what?
Of UAE.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Which they control pretty much whatever's around them.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who have their shit together, and it's a big country, and they have a lot of influence. When he came into power, it's like women's rights changed. It's like all these like money started flowing into. They're like building these type of utopias, you know. Like Dubai, like nothing can touch Dubai.
Yeah, I don't actually
it's not
see
they're Sunni Muslims, and then his mom is like has this like European Western mindset, like raised him with this thing that you need to get out of this old 2,000-year-old, 3,000-year-old mentality of like
war,
hatred
land,
and war,
problems, religious stuff, like debate
inheriting
over
these blood fields.
Yeah.
Like he's like, dude, he changed everything.
And it's because of his mother.
Yeah,
Specifically because of the mother.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you know how many brothers they have? It's always the sons that are the heirs, but like he specifically, because like that, his mom was the favorite. Like the wives are from the father.
Okay.
So she got to raise him in this way, and when he came into power, he had all these he made women couldn't drive, bro.
Okay.
You know. And then, like, suddenly, like, everyone was rich, and suddenly there was, like, a bunch of women driving Lambos and crashing them because they hadn't driven all their life. And all the body shops were making so much money. But, because, like, it was just, like, fixing Lambos left and right. But it's a trippy thing because everything Americans or, like, the world know about the Middle East is, like, problematic shit from the news. When you go there, everyone's nice.
Yeah,
especially like the ones that there's people that like carry things.
I mean, I was saying today to my cousin, I was saying to your own, I was saying this morning, it's like, you know, in general, everyone's really nice.
I've never had,
but I'm not talking about just Middle East. I mean, we'll go back to this Middle East, but just in general,
yeah,
like everyone that you meet,
yeah,
is really happy and nice to you.
Yeah,
like for the most part, in your whole life, you mostly have good interactions with people.
Yeah.
Like, always.
Yeah, so it's only when you're mad. It's only when you're mad.
It's
you suddenly meet assholes.
And it's a few people that you have, like, these bad interactions with. Like, you can... I mean, how many bad interactions do you have or you've had that you can count? And how many good interactions could you count? In this week or month, year, 5 years, 10 years? Like, the good interactions that you had is countless. The bad interactions are a few.
Well, the negative, in math, it's the same thing where the negative holds power over the positive. You multiply anything by a negative, it becomes negative.
That's interesting.
So, you know, so like, you could meet a lot of people and have positive interactions, but then when you meet one person, then you associate it with their color or background, and you're like, oh, and then you have 2 or 3 out of the other thousands that were like positive. You're like, oh, these people are like this. Because you're like not talking about like that person, Paul or whoever the fuck. You're not. Also, it's an American thing. Is that when you're talking about someone, you're always like, oh, like Jesse. Which Jesse? Oh, the black guy. You know, like so. Our thing is. No, Steve, you can't say that.
You can't say that, dude.
Yeah.
Nah, dog, you can't say that, man. What's up? Nah, man.
Black and proud. I'm black. I'm half black.
Oh.
From my waist down. My credit is Jewish, but my dick's black. Anyway, so like you like that's how you, if there's 5 friends with the same name, like, oh, like Korean Jesse, you know? It's a very American thing. In Brazil, you don't do that because you're like, who? They're all Brazilian. They're all different colors. They all look different. Everyone's Brazilian.
They'll say like, he's like Antonio, you know, the one who's
the doctor, or the asshole, or you talk about their characteristics.
In Brazil, you don't say he's the doctor that often.
Well, Max, because we have we have gay Max. We have 2 gay Maxes.
We have 2 gay Maxes.
Yeah, but then it's like, well, I go Big Max and Little Max. They're like, no, Doctor, man. I'm like,
actually, Max now, the big one, they call him Tronco.
Why?
Because like his thing is like tree trunk.
No, elephant trunk.
Yeah, they call Tronco. So
big African.
Yeah, he knocks you out. You can't even. Like walking like this.
He kicked me out of the kitchen.
You kicked me out of the kitchen
because he was burning the food. No, he was burning. He always cooks, and I love his cooking.
Yeah.
And he was burning the food, and he's like, I can't focus when you're here. Please get out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he told me
that's fucked up,
he's so handsome.
Damn, that's fucked up. That's fucked up, dude.
I was like, next time he's cooking, I'm just gonna go there and like fuck with him.
That's messed up.
Just like how like girls fuck with guys, I'm gonna go there and fuck with them. Like,
that's messed up, dude.
He looks so handsome. Just to fuck with him.
Messed up, dude. Well, you can't drink this, can you?
Nah, fuck it. We're having.
Are you actually drinking?
That was the wrong one. That was the tea. I'm gonna bring another batch.
Yo, this is the interlude. Can't even do an interlude in a podcast, by the way. We have to do like a cut in, cut out. This conversation's perfect, though. Actually.
Honey really likes you. She keeps asking me to come in. When I told her to...
Your grandma's so cute, dude.
Oh, dude,
She's like loves your grandma.
She's the sweetest.
Maybe give her a kiss.
We're gonna...
Nice.
No,
Sweet
like,
cheek.
when...
She's really nice.
She sleeps early, but when she comes... when you come back... Hi, baby. Go over there.
She's really nice.
When you... Where's yours here? When you come back...
This is like sacrilegious, by the way.
What is?
In America.
What is?
To drink beer with ice. You know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was...
Like
it
America,
was warm.
it's like sacrilegious
It is,
to
but
do some shit like
it's
that.
warm.
I thought this was like some Persian shit.
No.
No. This is literally like against like
Yeah.
my like American bloodline. So
Yeah.
like luckily I don't have any American blood. So
But we didn't have fentanyl. So we just have to set up our ice and beer. So, so you went to,
Oh, Israel.
yeah,
All right. So we went off topic a bit.
and that's the point.
Yeah.
If you stay on topic, it'd be 5 minutes long. It's a 5-minute conversation.
So when I went to Israel, I went on this birthright, and it was a great trip. They take you on a great trip. Like they show you the whole country in a few days, and it's all really delicious food. Everything's taken care of, nice hotels, like really great tours. Just everything is like top. It's like top shelf. The entire thing. All the people you're with are really good looking Jews.
It's
just,
amazing.
like, awesome.
Israelis are gorgeous, just because it's also it's a little like Brazil, that everyone, you can't, if you saw them outside of Brazil, you wouldn't know if they're Brazilian.
Yeah. This
Unless
part
you
is
hear the
amazing.
accent. So
yeah, and this part is
Israelis
amazing
are like
too.
that. You can't tell if
It's
you meet
so
them.
similar.
It's only their accent. Like
It's so similar to Brazil, and much more so even because in Brazil a lot of times there's like disparity in the region that will have people that are more black and more white, but in Israel it's really mixed.
yeah,
So there's really Ashkenazi and Sephardic. It's really mixed all the
Dude,
time,
Russian
and they're
bloodlines
so
is-
different looking. The people, it's so different, and they're all so gorgeous, and it's mostly young people. So
It is.
imagine like you take a whole bunch of young people, fly them somewhere for free, put them up in hotels, allow them to do whatever they want, but educate them the entire time. And they're mostly surrounded by young people. Everywhere in the street, it's mostly young people that you're seeing, and they're gorgeous, and they're friendly, and normal too. Everyone's like,
everyone's your friend.
yeah, and there's no crime. There's no problem. There's nothing going on. There's no dispute. There's no like. It's like the feeling is like of a utopia because of this like Jewish thing. It's like you're all there. You're all aligned.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Well, you always think they're fighting, but they're just loud Israelis talking like that.
Yeah.
Every conversation looks like an argument.
Yeah.
A lot of people with Middle Eastern, it's not just Israelis. They're like, when I talk Farsi at the temple, if I say it too fast and I don't say it with grace and like borogodo, they think it's angry for them. So it's a Middle Eastern thing.
Yeah.
It's funny how like women have the power to change that. Because I don't like German language. I don't like Russian. It's angry. It's like it doesn't have like a sensual thing to it. But if you hear pretty girls speak slowly, you're like, Jesus Christ, that's hot.
Oh yeah.
You know, they have power to change that. But and Israelis here, when they talk, they're just loud. It's like there's a volume button that's broken. And it's like
It's their culture.
like an it's a cultural thing.
Yeah. But so, just this combination of things coming from America. Now, at the time was an interesting time too, because I had gotten in a accident and I was injured. Like my foot was injured. I had like severed a part of my foot.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was fine. I mean, it came back everything, but I was like, I even went on the trip with like a doctor's permission, and I had to like take special care about everything that I was doing at the time. So it was like, it was a time was like, I'd had a big injury, and I was like looking at my life. The fact I was lucky, it was an accident that had happened, so I could have died in the accident. So I was like looking at the whole thing. It was like very like a reflective moment to then go on this big trip, have this big experience that was a cultural thing. And the interesting thing about a birthright trip is that in reality, all they're trying to do is they're trying to convince you to join the country. And so that's why it's free. That's why they set you with all the best stuff. It's because they're trying to get people to move there to join, because it's part of the Zionist movement. That's the point. So I did the whole trip. You can stay on. I decided to stay on. After I stayed on, I basically decided I was going to move to Israel. That was going to be my life. And I gave myself, I had a business in America with my father. And I called my dad and told him, and he was like, look, you seem so happy. I've never heard you sound like this before on the phone. And like, I love you and I support you. So if this is what you want to do, I support you. And I said, you know, what we're doing is going really well. So I'm going to do something responsible, and I'm going to give myself a month, and I'm going to see if this is really what I want to do with my life, because I'll have to give up my whole life in America and move to Israel now, to join Israel. I'll probably have to join the military. I'll have to do all these things to do it. And like, I have to like weigh like what this is. So a few days had passed. We had gone to the Holocaust, like a Holocaust.
Not the real one.
No, we had gone to like a Holocaust museum, right? It was like towards the end of the trip. And they were explaining like some of the techniques that the Nazis were doing, because it was a very like technical and strategical thing that the Nazis were doing with Jewish people. And in order to decimate them and also convince them and also keep them pacified too, because they were killing all Jewish people. But people didn't know that. They didn't know people were in camps and things like that. They didn't know that they were going to be there and they were just going to die. So they had to keep it a certain kind of way.
It's a cattle thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want them to panic.
Exactly.
You just keep them weak enough so they can't fight back.
Exactly. And there were certain techniques that they did so that they were more suggestive too, which was like same food, always the same food, and also to keep everything at this like really repetitive pace. So it was like they would be moving from one place to another all the time, and they'd be sleeping at very weird hours all the time, like doing some work in one place, then they'd take them to another camp, they'd be doing some work in this other camp, then all of a sudden they would wake them up in the middle of the night and take them to some other place. It was a very like, it added a lot of confusion, and because of that,
we couldn't orchestrate.
Yeah, and it made them easier, it made them more subdued, it made them more open to just any kind of suggestion. I woke up a few days later from after the birthright trip, and I woke up all of a sudden at 4 o'clock in the morning, just like, they got me. They had tricked me, I woke up seeing that the birthright trip was orchestrated with the same techniques that the Nazis had used on the Jews to be able to be suggested to them, because what they were doing with us, we always get the same food. They were waking us up at all these weird hours, and we went all over the country. Wow. Even like crazy stuff too. We would like go all the way to the top of the country, go right back to sleep, go all the way to the bottom of the country, then drive to the middle of the country within like 2 days or 3 days. It didn't even make any sense when they were doing this stuff. But it was because it made it really suggestive. And that literally, by the time I ended the birthright, I was ready to join the military. I had said, like, I'm going to fight for this. I don't even know what this is, but, like, I'm going to join the military and fight for this because this is right, because I'm a Jew. And so I woke up after those 4 or 5 days, and I left, like, my brainwashing. But I had seen that I had been completely brainwashed. And I thought it was quite a powerful experience, actually. I went through I spent probably 2 days going through a kind of, like, withdrawal from my brainwash, and also I went through all of these emotions, a lot of like anger, confusion,
like being tricked and...
Yeah, being tricked, revolt, and then in the end, I ultimately just looked at it, that was very intelligent, how they had put it. I thought it was intelligent, especially how on like the last day of the trip, they explained by taking us to a Holocaust museum that this is what they've been doing with us. Yeah. Like cemented the work they were doing in your subconscious. So, interesting. So, that didn't dissuade me though from moving to Israel. It didn't change anything. It just changed that, all right, well, I still would like to move to Israel. I just don't know about the military and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm just going to see. I'm going to be open to the rest of the trip. So after this point, I had been in Israel now for, I think, 15 or 16 days. The birthright trip had been over for like 5 days or something like that. I was now going to go on a trip to the Middle East. So I went down to the south of Israel in Eilat, which is like an amazing beach town, which at the time was having the hottest weather it had ever had in its history. It was something like 120 degrees or 130 degrees, like feeling of heat. And I'll add this. This is very important. In the birthright trip, I had gone there in Israel, and Israel is a very spiritual place, right? And I had no belief when I came, but I had this experience of like maybe losing my life recently, and like looking at my life and looking at existence. And starting to...
Like an existential crisis?
Well, I had always had an existential crisis my whole life. A very serious existential crisis. But because I had this, like, almost... I almost had died in a lot of respect. Like, when this accident happened, a car had hit me. And it was, like, really... Everyone was saying, like, you were just lucky you're alive. So I stopped for a bit of time and started to look at, like, my beliefs. And going to Israel is a spiritual place, and I was more open to have conversation about religion and not to be in a space of like a space which I would like to go into, which was like a fuck God or fuck Jesus, fuck the Catholic Church, and kind of like fuck you to religion kind of space. I was more, well, I'm here, I might as well see what people are saying. So in this birthright trip, they took us to an artist colony in the mountains, which was a Kabbalah colony. So like all the people there were artists and practiced Kabbalah. And I was really interested in what was Kabbalah because I just thought it was interesting. And also at the time it was starting to become popular. Like Madonna had done it, other people had done it. And I didn't know what it was. I was asking people in Israel what it was, and nobody knew what Jewish mysticism, they didn't know what it was. They were just like, oh, it's really powerful stuff. Actually, like, you know, and like I have a friend, they do Kabbalah. I know this guy that does Kabbalah, but like it's good stuff, but I don't know. It's not something I like practice or know, but it's like good stuff. And like if you really want to know about it, there'll be people you'll be able to meet on this trip who's going to be able to tell you about it. And so they had said, like, when we go to this place, there's going to be a lot of artists that they know Kabbalah. When you get there, you'll be able to talk to people who know about it for real, because I don't want to talk about it to you, because I don't want to talk about something that I know is sacred that I don't know anything about. Yeah. And I was like, that's cool. I thought it was cool that somebody could actually like
openly, like honestly, like talk about the borders of where he's willing to go.
Yeah, and also just like, I mean, coming from America, everybody thinks they know everything about everything, and so I thought it was just very respectful at the time. It like struck me, made me a lot more interested to know what it was. So when we went up to this mountain, so I'm backtracking, right? Obviously in this story. When we went up to this mountain village, we went to this art gallery, and there was this humongous, what's it called? It was like a big table that had all of these mountains in it. It had the beach in it. It had just this amazing handmade, real life looking real, like miniature of the world. Like really? It had roller coaster. It had everything in there. It was just like this beautiful, like little universe on a table. And it was really cool. It was a really cool piece of art to see. And so the guy who had made it, we started to talk, and I was complimenting him on the work that he had and everything. And so, and he was saying he's from Kabbalah, and I wanted to ask him about Kabbalah, and his question he said to me was like, well, if you want to know about Kabbalah, what do you know about God? And he was like, do you believe in God? And I said, no, of course I don't believe in God. Why would I believe in something that like I can't see or like I never seen, and like everybody says this, and like I don't believe. I don't believe. There's no reason for me to, and there's no proof for me. And he was like, yeah, there's no proof. And he was like, well, what if I told you that this beautiful table filled with all of these little people and all of these mountains and these little tiny cities and the beach and all these animals and everything that's there on that table, that's amazing. It's pretty amazing, right? And I was like, yeah, it's really cool. And he was like, what if I told you that just appeared there? And I was like, well, I mean, I'm not an idiot. Obviously, it didn't appear. And he was like, well, what if I told you it had somebody created it? And I was like, yeah, obviously somebody created it. And he was like, all right, well, that's how you know God exists. And for the first time in my life, I believe in God. I immediately was just like, oh, well, there has to be some thing that created this that we're having here. So, and whether that meant it was like some guy in the sky or whatever it was, it actually didn't matter. Just something or someone created it. So that opening to a belief of something else opened the rest of this trip. And so I think from that point, I became more open to everything. And in this journey that I went through the rest of the Middle East, my goal was to go to Egypt and go to the pyramids, and then also to go to Mount Sinai. So I went to this place a lot. I had a book that I bought from this guy that was about Kabbalah, and there was a really interesting thing that was happening on this trip that I thought was very suspicious. Everybody was telling me the one thing about when we had this conversation, because I was very curious about the Kabbalah. They were always saying that it's a very powerful thing, and I must be very careful if I'm going to look into it, because they knew people who they went into it and they never came back. And I thought that was the most ridiculous and weirdest thing anyone ever said to me about religion, that people would like lose it. And they were saying it's just very profound. It's mystical.
That's why they don't teach it to you under 40. And then you have to be like
that's what they were saying.
They'll like gauge you to see like what your intentions are. Like this type of shit you asked me before you took me to the temple. Like you vetted me.
Yeah.
So it's the same type of thing. Like every 10 years, and the level of your mind opens up. And at 40, it becomes concrete enough that it won't collapse when you introduce it to these real systems and dynamics of the universe. You know, it's kind of like explaining to a child everything that you know at like 8 years old, where they're enough, like they can talk and they can ask questions and they can like grasp things. And you're like, yeah, well, this is what sex is, this is what government is, this is what our history is, this is what, like, where we came from. This is, like, all like, imagine if you're, like, really, really well-versed in normal, everything information that's out there, like, available. And you tell it to a child, and it's gonna, like, probably, like, make the child suicidal. Or something like...
Yeah, it was just, like, too much information.
No, it's just that they can't grasp it, you know? Like, and everything becomes, like... And they stop trusting you. And they stop trusting anybody. And they get disengaged with their own joy and lust for life. And so
it's too much information in the process.
Of adult human connecting with the higher realms of consciousness, where the 40 is like the baseline of, okay, now we can talk to you about it, and we'll see like how concrete your mind is, because if the foundation is shaky, or if you have bad intent, you know, people come in it because it's a tool. So it's not like this thing that is good or bad. It's just how you use it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, because
like,
you could use it for bad.
Yeah,
With the
so-
information you know, you could use it
so
for bad.
they
Easily
just-
you could. It's easier to use it for bad than for
They
good.
just make sure that you're at a certain foundation where obviously you're gonna be open to hearing it, and you're not bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. There is no this. No, you're like, oh really? And you go deeper into it, and it starts like you think like normal people have an existential crisis. Imagine if they're like introduced to like the real like blueprint of the universe,
Yeah.
and they're just gonna go home like an empty shell. Nothing you know is what it is.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I lived all my life like past all these things, and I learned so much. All that's bullshit too.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean, like my perception of it, or what I'm doing here, and I thought who's right or who's wrong, and what am I doing?
I mean, that's what happened too. That's
So-
what happened is I started to, when I had gotten this Kabbalah book, and I started reading it when I went down to a lot, because they had warned me about the whole thing. And so
Was
when I
it-
got to this beach town,
Was it this one? Sefer.
you can grab it. Let's see.
Sefer Yetzirah. How do you say it?
No.
Yetzirah.
I don't think so. No, definitely wasn't this.
Okay.
This is more, looks pretty powerful, this actually.
Yeah, this one's like one of the basic books to start, but it's.
It was like a little book that the guy was just talking. It wasn't anything, I don't think that like intricate. He was just talking, and I started to read it like on the beach, and it started to peel back layers, and I started to enter into like some other kind of like universe, like reading it, because he was talking about essentially like you being able to control reality with your mind, and that it was pretty, the way that he had prosed like one thing to the next, it like happened what he was saying.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, I started to question like what was actually happening, and so I started to, I mean, the reality is that my consciousness started to expand, and I started to enter into like a higher altered state of consciousness. But I was like drinking a lot and partying.
Wow.
So it wasn't the right thing to be happening at that time. And interesting enough, from the beach, I was leaving from that beach to go to Jordan. And when I went to Jordan, when I got there, I no longer had that book anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was like what they had said. So it was what they had warned me about. It was like, because I wasn't ready for what it was telling me, and I let it go too at the time.
Like you understood it.
I just understood I needed to let it go because I knew that I wasn't ready for it, because I saw that what was happening to me, that I was like, I remember the night before I went to the beach, before I went to Jordan, who I had met and who I was talking to, and then I was starting to become a bit like crazy. I was starting to like, was questioning everything. What is this? What? I was starting like seeing behind, which that's fine. But at that time, in that scenario, with what I was like drinking and things, it was enough for me to have touched that. It was enough for me for years to have just touched that, and then to continue with my life after that. To not go into that at that moment, because you can't go into those things. I don't think if you're not, you need to have some purity to you, you know?
Yeah, because it's not, it doesn't like take you somewhere specific. It just opens you to all the realms. And if you're drinking and you don't have the right mindset, you start going in dark places.
It's good because we're drinking. So.
Yeah.
But it's different though.
Yeah. We already passed a lot of the tests.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any dark place to go with this, really, but no. From there, I went to Jordan. It was an amazing trip. I went to Petra. You know Petra? Like the city, it's one of the 8 wonders of the world.
Oh, yeah?
It's like a city carved in the sand in the desert. It's carved there, and it's at like top of a mountain in the desert, carved there. And it's all like sanctuaries. Like it's like a very powerful spiritual place, and when you go there, they have like a powerful spiritual set ritual that they do there. I'm not sure if it's every night or if it's every Saturday. I'm not sure, but when I was there, we did it, and it was really powerful. It was like extremely powerful. I was only there for 24 hours. In this place, it's like this big candlelight candlelit thing. Everyone has like candles. There's like 1,000 people there with candles, and they're chanting and praying, and just like it was powerful, dude. From there, I left Jordan. I mean, I was there for the 24 hours. I ended up getting on a boat from there to go to Egypt. I really didn't know what I was going to do in Egypt, but I just knew I was going to go to Egypt. I ended up meeting these 2 guys on the boat who were from where I was from. They were from Washington, D.C., and they were Jewish guys. And they were like, yo, man, this is great. Like, I'm from D.C. The guy had just moved there. He was just moving to D.C. now. So he was like, yo, like, you know, let's make friends, and, you know, what are you going to do while you're there? And I was like, I'm not even sure. They're like, let's just partner up, and we have a place to stay and all this stuff. So we ended up we went to Egypt, went to this place like Sharm el-Sheikh, which is like, you go there and you just smoke. Smoke weed.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like a place, like literally from Jordan or from Israel, it's like the first place you go, and you stay literally just like right on the beach in a tent, and you're just catered on for the entire time. And people can stay there for like days on end, but we just stayed there for one day. You just smoke, they just bring you weed nonstop, food and drinks. So we just did that for an entire day. There's other things you can partake too if you want, but that's all we were doing. And then we went to Egypt, and we stayed in the place that they had found on the internet, which was in the ghetto of Cairo. So we stayed in like the most downtrodden place that we possibly could have in Egypt, and it was amazing, actually. And it was Ramadan. We were Jewish guys. There are a bunch of Jewish guys there in Ramadan, like in the strip. We slept on carpets that were just thrown on top of books.
What?
Yeah, that was like the bed. The bed was that was it.
Trip.
Yeah, it was like cockroaches. Like the walls were lined with cockroaches.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slum of one of the poorest places in the world. That's where we slept for free.
I bet.
Yeah. So, and then, we went to the pyramids. We paid the guy like $10, and I think it literally was like $5 actually. Literally $5.
They do that. That's the whole thing there.
To do whatever we wanted at the pyramids. So we like climbed the pyramids.
Oh, like you got the deal.
Yeah, and we climbed. We started to go up the pyramids. We walked up the pyramids.
Can't do that shit anymore.
No, you can't do that shit anymore. It was before the Arab Spring, so you can't do anything like that anymore. But we did. I was a scaredy cat. I was scared of heights, so I didn't go that high. They went to the top of the freaking pyramid.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then like the security guard was like, yo, that's too much. You guys are like going too far. I said, like, you can go a bit, and like you can't go to the very top of a pyramid, like take pictures and stuff. They did, so which was cool. The guy then took us into a pyramid.
Really?
Yeah. And I almost died.
Why?
Because it's super powerful place to be. Like,
really?
It's like, yeah, it's one of the most sacred. I mean, it's thousands of years of intention and ritual that's put into it. It's like loads of people lost their life to make the pyramid. Loads of people lost their life to put someone into that pyramid, to do everything that had to be done for that to go in there. It's so many lives were lost to do it, and it's all for the intention and the greater good to take that pharaoh so that he can rise. And so, and I think there's many other things there. There's many other secrets and other things that are there. But so when I went into the pyramid, I like started to have something close to a heart attack, and I was started to like go blind, and they had to like take me out of the pyramid.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, so I was having like a lot of really interesting spiritual experiences, and I wasn't spiritual at all at the time of my life. So I started to become from this trip, and I think after we left Egypt, I ended up going to Mount Sinai. For some weird reason, I climbed to the top of Mount Sinai, and I ended up running into my favorite basketball player, Chris Webber.
Really?
Yeah, he's my favorite basketball player as a kid.
Why him?
He's from Washington D.C.
Oh.
Yeah. Why? I just really liked him a lot. It was like I don't know. It was there was like a stigma around him, and I just liked his resiliency, his life. I had a pair of his shoes, and we loved his shoes. It was like a whole thing about this guy in my life. And then I climbed to the top of Mount Sinai, having this like powerful spiritual experience, and all of a sudden, I'm just like, he was on the tour group with me.
Huh.
And I was like, yo, Chris Webber? He was like, yo, what? And he was like, and I was like, I bet you didn't expect, like, he was like, nah, man, I had no idea somebody would, like, recognize me out here. Like,
This is while he was playing?
Nah, I think he had retired.
Oh,
just retired.
Okay. So he was already famous, but he didn't expect anyone to notice him?
No, I mean, he went to Mount Sinai, dude. Like, people don't go to Egypt like that. Like,
back then.
I don't think people go to Egypt like that in general.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I just don't think it's like that much of a trip, that much of like a common trip. I don't know that many people that have gone to Egypt. Egypt was like, I think more so now it's more closed than it was when we went. But that was, dude, and that was like the icing on the cake to see that guy there. Because to me, I didn't even understand for what reason was I running into this guy. It was like, I still to this day don't understand why I ran into this guy. And it was weird because it was like he's my favorite basketball player in my life, and I was having this like profound like spiritual experience, and then all of a sudden this guy was just there. It was just like, to me it was like God or something, but I still don't understand. It's just fucking random as hell that Chris Webber was there, dude.
What a trip.
Yeah. So, and then I think I went to some other place in Egypt and had kind of an experience for myself of like, I started to like, after all this, started to just like take all of this in. And then I made my decision that I wasn't going to live in Israel, that I was going to need to go back so that I could build my business up further, so I could move to Israel with dignity. Because if I had stayed in Israel on those terms, then I would have stayed on the terms that my dad was just going to like support me and just like help me out. And so there was that. And also on top of that, I was going to give up something that I had like spent a few years like building up to a point that it was really good, which was the business we had. It was like really good at that point. So I said, all right, I'll go back. I don't need to like do this now. I don't need to run away from the life I built. I need to finish it. I need to take the time to finish my life that I had here. And then I'm going to come here. Like, that's my goal, is to come here. So I did the things I needed to do, but by the time I was able to do this, I met my wife in Brazil. So I moved to Brazil. But like, interesting enough, that whole trip prepared me for my life in Brazil, because that's where I found God. That's where I made the decision to make a good decision so that I could build myself up, so I could be able to live a life in somewhere in a foreign country. And so, like, for me, Israel, I always give it that blessing for me, regardless of anything. So, is that, like, it doesn't matter to me anything about, like, Jewish or this or that or any of that other stuff. It just matters to me about that experience that I had at that place. And that, talking about it here, that there's obviously something much more there, because for somebody so lost in their life to begin to find themselves there, it was like for me was the place where God touched me, and then I was able to.
I was open to all the other things that was coming to you, so you could like not like brush it aside. Yeah. I was there, and I geared my whole life towards a preparation so that I could do something with myself that was because of the inspiration of what that place represented, not even what that place really was. So very cool. We'll do an intermission. We'll go to the bathroom.
So like that, like we ended that. It appears that we ended that like at exactly like 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Which that's like my number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you turned off?
I was gonna say like if you want to continue, we can. But if you don't, if
we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought it was better than it needed to be, I think.